A lot of software developers and security engineers and other IT pros use curl to do web requests. And curl is, yeah, quite common, but it has a lot of issues. It's buggy, it has platform specific issues. It is also not secure. It has some specific security issues. And if you want to know why, and if you want to know what is the alternative and how can you follow up on this, then I would highly recommend you to watch this video. I will explain everything. So here we have a command prompt on Windows. Let's just try a curl command. So it gives a lot of data. What we see is HTTP 1.1 is used. At 200 status code is returned. There's a content type, etc. So yeah, looks fine. Let's do Bing. Now we see a typical problem of curl in Windows. It reports that channel complained, but channel is only on Windows. And yeah, it's just a choice, a design choice of curl to use channel. So it's not mandatory to use channel on Windows. It's possible to use the same open source libraries for both, for any implementation of curl, but it's just not done like that. So we get a very strange error message from channel, and then the error message is here. It's in English, but the rest of the error message is in Dutch. So this is not user friendly. So let's look how this is on Windows. So here we see something interesting. HTTP 2 is used, status code 200. And here HTTP 1 is used. So that's already a difference. Curl behaves different on Linux than it behaves on Windows. So that's frustrating. Now let's do Bing. And here Bing is working and Google is working. So, and HTTP 2 is used instead of HTTP 1. So what becomes clear is that on Linux, curl just behaves differently than on Windows. On Linux, there is no channel dependency. On Windows, there is. So that's much of a problem. But what we can also see is that we don't know if it's really secure, because here we see HTTPS. And so we think, okay, yeah, it should be fine. But that's really like, 20 years ago, it was fine when using HTTPS. But we need to know more. We need to know the TLS version, and we need to know the key exchange group. So the key exchange group is relevant nowadays for some specific reasons. Because the quantum apocalypse is coming. So quantum computers are getting better and better, and a day will come, and it will not take much time until they've reached a point in which they can basically crack the existing cryptography. So the existing cryptography can be broken. And that's because investments are done here. The UK is doing investments, but if you Google on this topic, you will find out that not just the UK is investing, also other countries like the US, but also countries in Asia. They're just investing in this topic. So they're trying to get better and better quantum computers, and they're trying to get stronger quantum computers, which can eventually break the existing encryption. Well, there's a solution for that. It's called Kyber, or actually Model Lattice Key-Based Key Encapsulation Mechanism, also known as MLChem, or just CHEM when people talk about it. And it's like, with powerful future quantum computers, then things can go wrong. And that's why post-quantum cryptography exists. So there's standards of that. This is the chem, and yeah, with using MLChem we can be protected. But curl doesn't show that, and curl doesn't show that because it was like developed in a good old days in which this was not relevant, and it was like yeah further developed later on, but still with the same mindset. So, but now yeah things are just changing. So what we want is to make sure that curl behaves the same way on Windows as it does on Linux. And what we also need is that curl is just, gives us this information. Is my connection truly secure, or am I faking security because it's HTTPS? So yeah, well, there's a solution for that. And this solution is Kemforge. Here we have Kemforge. It's a curl compatible program. It just works, and it's basically just putting the commands of curl you put inside Kemforge, and then you get an output which does make sense. So instead of curl -I do Kemforge -I. Yeah. So here we see the TLS data is shown, TLS version, so the modern TLS version is shown, and the key exchange group is shown, and it's also like MLChem 768. Well, like with the verbose settings of curl, you could also detect the key exchange group, but there's no guarantee that MLChem is really supported. That depends on the version of OpenSSL. Well, on Linux, it depends on the version of OpenSSL you have installed. On Windows, it depends on what updates and patches you got on your Windows device and whether your sysadmin blocks anything about this. It's just not reliable. Well, Kemforge is reliable because it's all built in. The post-quantum cryptography doesn't depend on libraries installed on your device. It just works, and it just works out of the box. It's all integrated. So, but there's just one catch, is that if your server doesn't support post-quantum cryptography, then of course, then yeah, the key exchange group will also not do that. Let me give you an example. Here we have the Bing. Yeah, this is not protected against quantum attacks because it's X25519 instead of X25519 MLChem. So actually, Google is doing a better job here than Microsoft would be. Not in everything, maybe, that I don't want to make a strong opinion about this, but in this case, Google is doing better. And it's good to see this, to detect this. So I would really recommend you to use this at your employer's place, use this at your customer's place, use this for your own hobby project. Just use Kemforge because you can see, where am I? Is this really quantum safe or not? Because the quantum attacks are coming. We need to see that. We need to see what's going on. So this is a way to just detect that. It's just curl, but it's better. So it's cross-platform. It's truly cross-platform, and it also shows the key exchange group, and it has post-quantum cryptography support built inside. So that is much nicer, right? So if you want to download it, you can it's just open source. It's freely available, and there's no catch. It's free. You can just download the source code and compile it yourself. But what I would recommend is just to follow the installation steps, which are shown here. Yeah, those are shown here. So for macOS and for Windows, so you can just install it. So just give that a try. And also, like, what I would recommend is to use for this, and you can make a financial contribution. It's not mandatory, of course, because it's open source and it's for free. But if you want to, yeah, your personal preferences when it comes to feature requests, if those need to be given priority, then become a Kemforge helper hero. And if you would just want to help me making this like a true full successor of Kemforge, just click here. So this will be very, very helpful. So please make a contribution. I would highly appreciate that. But of course, it's not mandatory. It is free and it is open source, and it's up to you whether you want to do it. The features are all listed over here, but it's just, yeah, if you have experience with curl, you won't need this because it's just curl, but better and cross-platform and just working. So I would really recommend give it a try. Curl belongs to the past. It's not safe. It's not not stable depending on what operating system you're using. It has been doing a good time for many years, but yeah, it's not the future is cross-platform and the future is post-quantum cryptography. So this is the future. Curl belongs to the past and Kemforge is just better. So please all get Kemforge, install it, play with it, let me know what you think of it, recommend this to your colleagues, and then we can go to a more safe, a more secure future. So yeah, that's the explanation. If you want to have the access to the links of this of the Open Collective page or the open source page, it's all in the description. So give it a go, have a look there, and you are just ready to give it a go.